Hey guys, got a brake job on a 2011 Toyota Camry today. Front and rear, we're just gonna kind of go over the basics. What you need to know. Just gonna get up, just gonna do one corner at a time and go from there. 21 mil for the legs. One of the first things we gotta do before we get started is just take the cap off of our brake fluid reservoir. Make sure it's not too close to overfilling. Because what we're going to do, I'm going to push all the pistons back in. That's going to push the fluid back up. Come over here. Really, really easy brake job on these guys. All you need is a 14 mil, a 17 mil to counter hold, 17 mil for the carrier. Okay. Basically, all the tools you need right there. I'm also going to be using one of these guys because I find if it ever focuses, that just makes life easy. Okay, so that's for the fronts. Just going to kind of go through it, and you may need, I think it's an M8 to thread into here if the rotor's stuck. But yeah, nice easy job. We'll kind of go through the basics. So one of the things I like to do, I always like to just get a little bit of slop in the caliper. So I just take my totally just a pry bar. I'm not supposed to use screwdrivers as pry bars. And I'm just gonna pull on that, and you're gonna see it's gonna open up some space so that our caliper moves freely, and we're gonna be able to swing that guy up. On these kind of setups, what I like to do, undo the bottom. Let's see if I can do this one-handed. If I can. Sometimes you need to counter hold this guy. I don't have to this time. Okay. Take that out. Pull this up. Okay. Please note springs in the pads. And what I'll actually do is I'll push this back. Oh, there we go. This has been serviced recently. And I will just rest my caliper up here. Try not to put too much tension on the hose. Okay? This way, we don't have to undo that guy at all. We can just clean it right here. Okay? I've already pushed the piston most of the way in. If you don't have one of those, you can just use one of these. What I'll do if I do that though, put the old pad there so you're not clamping directly on the piston. This one I don't think matters, but some cars have ceramic pistons. You do not want to crush on those. So next step, pull these off. Most kits come with these springs, but just be aware if they don't. You don't want to lose these. They're cardboard now, just to try to keep the floor pretty clean. Pull the pads out. Wasn't a ton, about 4 mil left. Just really requested to get these done, so we'll get them done. Okay. Next, I'm just going to undo these two. I'm going to use my 1/2 inch bar for that. I can't really do the one-handed, so I'll be right back. Okay, I got these loose. I'm just playing around with a little bit different light here. The light sucks in this shop, so I guess custom garage rather. So obviously I've cracked these loose already. Pull these out. I'll get your torque specs before I'm done. Whoop. Excuse me while I do this one-handed. Gloves already died. Okay, we'll take that off now. Alright, so what we have here is we have one slider still in. It's kind of stuck. Let's see what we can do with it. Get it stuck in there pretty good. And I think it's because I actually used the wrong lubricant on it. You shouldn't use copper on these slides. You should be using like a silicone based lube. Copper is more for like, you'd put copper, and I'll show you, just on the edges here where it contacts, where it slides, right up here. You should be using something more like either a ceramic or a silicone based lubricant for the pins. So I'm gonna have to clean those all up because they've gummed up. And that's probably why they have a little bit of uneven wear. So next, obviously, our rotor's kind of stuck. We can bang on it with a hammer, or I've got an 8 by 1.25 thread bolt from my last job. Thread that guy in there, and then I'm gonna grab one of these and just go. No banging. Sweet. So next, all we gotta do, wire brush. I forgot to add that to the list of things. Clean the surface up. Clean this guy up, and if your brake pads come with new hardware, pop these guys out, put in the new ones, clean everything up. Okay, I'm gonna come back to you once I get everything cleaned up and put back on the car. Just thing of note, see how I have a twist in this line? We want to make sure when we reinstall it, there's no twist in the line. Okay, causes bad things. Okay, on the next step, got the rotor on, got the carrier bolted on with the new hardware, match what it was before. I've already bolted these guys in. These are 79 foot-pounds. Those have been torqued. Cleaned up the pins and re-lubed them. Let's grab this one here. Okay, this one goes towards the bottom. This goes in there. And get her in there. Okay, you want to make sure you don't roll the rubber ring around too much. Make it a little bit. Might have to clean it out a little bit more. Let's see. It needs to move smoother than that. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna do this a couple times, clean that out. But just so in case you're wondering how you know which way the pads go, there's always telltale signs. This guy was on the outside. See the marks? This guy was on the inside. So when you're setting up your new pads, you know, this one's gonna go on the outside. It's gonna go here. You can see, let's put a little bit of copper on the edge, not too much. I'm just gonna clean this up a little bit more. Put that in place. Don't forget our 2 spring clips that go in there. Pop your caliper on. Torque this little bolt to 25 foot-pounds, and you're good to go. There you have it, this one corner. Like I was saying, try to make sure this line is straight. You don't have any loops in it. You want to make sure these clips, you can see here, they go inside. They don't go on the outside. And when you put the springs in, though, you can see little springs in, you're going to want to hold the pads together as you kind of drop the caliper on. And then this outside bolt is 25 foot-pounds. You may need a counter hold with the 17 there. Okay. Other side is the exact same. Make sure you pump your brakes before you go anywhere and brake them in. As note, these are coated rotors. Didn't have to clean them. If you buy uncoated rotors, please clean them with brake clean. Make sure there's no oil, no grease, anything like that on the inside or outside surface of your brake rotor. Okay? Here you go, guys. Have fun. Just doing the rears as well, and I thought to tell you, there's a couple of things on this you need to know as well. So the caliper obviously comes up over this way. Okay, 14 mil. Same idea, pop it up. In order to make that have room, you want to undo 12 mil bolt right there. So then this can just go here and actually sit nicely on the ground. Look at that, it doesn't hang. Then you take the carrier off as normal, 14 mils in the back of this one. And then you'll see there's an adjuster wheel in there. You adjust that with a flathead screwdriver. That goes through that hole right there. That's a rubber plug. Pop the rubber plug out. You'll find if this thing is seized on, you'll need to back the parking brake off. Most people don't use the parking brakes, so they're not usually backed all the way out. Anyway, and then when you go to suck it all back up, you want to get your new rotor on, and you want to readjust the park brake. What I like to do is I like to adjust it until it catches, and then back 1 to 2 clicks. Okay. Other than that, it's pretty straightforward. Same as the rear. I'm just running out of time here today. Need to get on to the next job.